Yeah, this is generally what I do when I'm on the pod anyway.
We always hear you eating and whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so is this supposed to be a boxing news update, yeah, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen to it on the YouTube link just to see how it goes.
Yeah, is it going? Because there's about 30-second delay on YouTube, isn't there?
Yeah. It's just got a black screen just now.
Right, so what does everyone think about the news regarding Saunders and Lee?
What's the official news line?
Saunders has been cut in sparring, apparently.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, we can't really. We've already had one pull out of that sorrow, although apparently we can't blame Frank for that one. But it's just a farce from start to finish. People, saying I'm not booking tickets until the day before. You can't blame them, man. It's someone. I was thinking about it earlier. For someone like him, who is obviously certainly on the back foot when it comes to his promotional career. It's been going down the pan for a while. He should be pulling out all the stops to do everything bang on the button, get everything perfect, and get fighters wanting to go back to him. He ain't got either fans or fighters at the minute. It's a mess. It really is a mess.
So do you think we can blame Frank for this then? I mean, a cut in sparring, a virus.
Have we seen that?
Show me the emails, mate. So show me the cut.
Yeah.
But see, to be honest, if truthfully, I think he is cut. I mean, Saunders, I don't think would back away from any man. I think he would take any fight.
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
To be honest, I mean, it was decent enough card. I thought the card, apart from the Smith Sorrow fight, I was really looking forward to his fell apart. So people didn't believe David Haye got cut before the Tyson Fury fight. I mean, people say he did it himself or whatever it was. So some people believe it, some people won't. I tend to think he has maybe cut.
People are holding it against him now about the amount of step-asides that he's done over his time. Do you think that's fair to hold that against him?
Yeah, I do actually, yeah.
How many though? Is that only one he's had? Two?
Two, I think, isn't it?
Well, that's right, because he had the IBF chance, did they not? Did they not go down in the WBO?
Yeah, when Lemieux fought and Dan.
Yep.
This is like reminding me of like the Calzaghe Glenn Johnson fight. Like it was postponed, Calzaghe kept pulling out. I think it's meant to be, and they're talking about rearranging it. But how many people are going to really trust buying tickets for it now?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen at all. Frank's talking about 2015 now, but I mean, do you think that the ship has sailed, and would anybody want to buy tickets, or do you think it'll just go by the wayside, this fight now?
Nah, it's going to happen, mate. It's a mandatory defence, so either Lee fights him or he fights the nearest challenger. WBO maybe have to get involved somewhere along the line, say, listen, this fight must happen regardless, or there's going to be someone's going to lose their mandatory position, or the title's going to get stripped. Or maybe an interim title, which the WBO didn't usually really go for, in all honesty, even though they've got all these... Oh, sorry, Kurt, we're only going to talk about these cunts, were we?
You've started now, you might as well finish.
Yeah, we can jump into it. It's just when we're talking about them in fights, just talk about the fights instead of the bullshit titles, I imagine.
Well, I mean, assuming that Lee is all fit and ready to go now, he's got over his virus and everything, who is he still going to fight against? Who? Are they going to draft somebody from the top 15? I mean, is it going to be against, can they do that? Are the WBO going to let him pull somebody out the bag, like maybe a Kerry Hope or somebody?
Certainly want to be kept. I mean, talking about the fight definitely going ahead at some point. I mean, when Saunders, how long is he meant to be out for? I mean, is it a bad cut? Is it? I need 6 weeks, 8 weeks notice or whatever it is. I don't know. Kerry Hope fought in China there. I think it was there last weekend or the weekend before. So I don't think you could probably see him. It was a full 10 or 12 rounds he went as well. So I can't see him fighting in the next 2-3 months, unless he's really He's one of the guys I suppose who would take a fight in late notice.
Yeah, exactly. And according to the rankings, he won the Oriental title on that night.
Yeah.
Who else would you think they could get in? I mean, see if we can get the top 15 up and have a look and see if we can throw some names into the bag, assuming that Lee still is able to fight and wants to fight.
What we got? Middleweight. I mean, I don't know how up to date this is, but you've got Jamal Charlo. Is he no facing? Is it the brother that's fighting?
Is he fighting Bundridge or is that the other one?
I don't know, but you then got Magomedov, Akovov. I've never heard of it. Some of these guys. I mean, you got Marat at number 6, I think. You got Lejos Mark Naga. Never heard of the And the numbers 3, 4, and 5. Never heard of them.
What about number 7, Tommy Langford, Frank Warren fighter? Too big of a jump for him at the moment?
Oh, that's I actually tweeted, I stated a wee while ago there, said, the rate is going at, you probably need to dig up Sam Langford to get a fight. It really is getting that way, isn't it? Come on, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we've got Tuiano Johnson's number 8, but I think he was supposed to be fighting Eamon O'Kane. I think that fight fell through. And then right from number 9 down, to be honest with you, I've only heard of about 2 or 3 of them after that, Korobov, Hope, and I couldn't tell you anything about any of the other guys. Maybe they can draft one of them in. Possibly.
Yeah, Walks on Twitter just said that Lee he's going to fight that Tommy Langford. So I mean, none of you seen anything of him?
Yeah, I saw him. He fought on that Dublin bill recently against an Argentinian. He looked quite good actually. I was quite impressed with him. I think he might be from Birmingham. I didn't even know that. I was just plucking that name off the rankings there because I know he's a Frank fighter. It'd be a handy enough fight to make, but I think it'd be too soon for him. I think Lee would beat him, but I was quite impressed with what I saw from him on that Dublin show actually. So easy fight to make, yeah. Throw him in, give him his chance.
Adam's been a bit quiet. I mean, is he too busy doing his
Paul's mega quiet.
No, pause.
Yo,
Adam's trying to make weight. He wants to fight.
Yeah, you
I'll
looking to
take
fight
the-
Andy for the title, Adam?
I'll take the fight. No, I'll be surprised if Andy Lee continues to be on that bill. To be honest, have they said that he's going to stay on the bill, Andy Lee?
But we don't know. I suppose that's
Yeah,
what we're speculating about. I think someone on Twitter had said that Tommy Langford might be in line. I was assuming he is staying on the bill. If he's fit, they would get him some kind of, even if it's a non-title affair. I mean,
Yeah, it depends when Saunders can come up, can take the fight, I suppose. But they was talking about Derry Matthews, his fight being put on there, weren't they? I mean, I'm not sure if that's been announced. That's the rumor, anyway.
So it's World War II and off.
The way it's going to go, it's going to be -1, but I'm just looking at the statement that Frank Warren Promotions has put out, and there's just basically stating that he's working tirelessly trying to basically some exciting options to replace the fight on the show that he aims to secure and announce shortly, and will announce a new date for Lee Saunders' world title fight. So I'm assuming the way that's reading, just reading between the lines there, that maybe the fight may get pushed back further, and unless Lee takes a non-title fight, maybe an 8-rounder or something. Keeps his hand in, a wee payday.
yeah, I think he'll get some kind of a fight on the card, I would imagine.
It's just sad how it's gone because it's a good fight and it's a really competitive fight, a tough one to pick, and it just seems to be, it's destined not to happen. It just something seems to be going wrong all the time. Like I said about the Calzaghe Glenn Johnson, that never happens. So I do hope it gets made, but it's just how long Son is out for, and again with fans, they're not going to be too positive about buying tickets either, and that's a sad thing because it is a good fight, and the rest of the card that it was supposed to be on is a good card as well.
Yeah, well,
Certainly one of the better cards for the year anyway. I mean, I know the pay-per-view card by Sky in May was pretty decent, but you think about it, that was probably one of the better cards of the year, certainly from Frank Warren at least. And as I say, I'm really gutted at the fact that Liam Smith's not going to be fighting the guy Sorrow, so disappointed with that one falling by the wayside.
it's a belting card. It would have been even, a really good card with Lee and Saunders on, but it's still a good card. I have it up in front of me, obviously. I mean, I'm assuming that BoxRec has it correct here. Flanagan, Magdaleno still on, Smith and this John Thompson. Those fights are still on.
Yeah, they're still on at the moment, yeah.
Did Paul no say that Derry Matthews was supposed to be getting stepped up to main event status?
Yeah,
Did I read that wrong?
Yeah, that's the rumour that he's been put on. He's fighting that Barroso, is it? So they're talking about putting...
Or the Italian?
That's just a rumour. I don't think it's been confirmed, but apparently that could, slide in there. So,
well, if they slide that in there, then fair play to them, because there's 3 world title fights there, and the card below is very strong. I mean, you've got Liam Walsh, Troy James, Blackledge, Markham, Stalker, Evans, Gonzalez, Kays. 4 real decent domestic fights there.
Who's Stalker fighting, mate?
Craig Evans, he won fight Cardle recently.
Yeah, I think so. I think they went the distance today on that fight.
Yeah, they went. I think maybe a majority. Was it a draw, or did Cardle get a majority decision win or something?
I remember Cardle got a wee bit of shit for that performance, I think.
But it's a decent fight.
Aye.
One loss each, 10, 12 fights each. Those are the type of fights that we need to see. You know, that should be sort of standard.
Well, I think it's a decent wee step up for Cat Tromey, as I says. Yeah, I actually like look at this guy, so it'd be good to see him. A wee step up in class.
I was there for that Cardle fight, and I thought that Evans could have won the fight, but he spent too much time prancing about, trying to show off, running around the ring. Like, if he'd have had a go, he had a chance. He had a good chance of winning that.
What do we know about this guy who stepped in to fight Liam Smith, this John Thompson? I'm just looking at his record now. He seems to have a decent knockout win over Brandon Adams, but apart from that, a lot of names I've never heard of, and he's been stopped himself in the second round just 3 fights ago. Is this guy, does anybody have any lowdown on this guy?
Nah,
Is he any good?
The only thing I know about him is that he's black, and apparently he's got Scottish blood, and apparently there's people coming down the road to watch him. That's about all I know about him.
Well, I looked into him a little bit because I've got a financial interest in it, and he ain't as good as Sorrow, so I've got more chance of landing my 8-1 Liam Smith to win a world title bet.
Says it all then, basically.
Mm.
I think the issue with Sorrow. I don't know if according to Frank Warren, at least the money was agreed. Apparently, well, according to Frank Warren at least, that apparently there's been a falling out between Sorrow and his management, so I don't know if he thinks he's not getting enough money and he thinks maybe his management's not negotiating enough for him or whatever it is, but
this is
an issue there somewhere.
This is still for the WBO vacant title. I mean, what do you make of this fight being for a vacant title? I mean, this is my issue. I mean, the fight itself, take away the title, I think it's a totally fine fight. I mean, even though we don't know much about this guy, you know, it's most people feel it's going to be a test for Smith at least. Sorrow was obviously going to be a test, but it's like, does this dilute the term world title when, you know, this type of fight is for the vacant title? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Not knocking the fighters, but
I know. I mean, it's the fact is, it's, you know, it was a decent fight that held it in Andrade, wasn't it? But I know we're looking through the rankings and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just looking through it just now. Saul Alvarez is ranked number 1 at 154 with WBO. It totally does devalue the title. I mean, I think Thompson's ranking 5th. I mean, the Ukrainian guy who's above it, Alexander, is it Spycro or something like that? He's 90-0 with 11 knockouts. You know, he may have been a better option, but I'm just looking through his record just now. I mean, he's fought practically no one. Mixed match records. He even beat a guy with no victories. He beat a guy with 0-10. So you just don't know what kind of. And I think he's fought in 2 12-rounders, but only went past 4 rounds in one of them. So you just don't know. I mean, the WBO rankings are very, very unknown quantities. I mean, surprised Stevie never picked up this name. Singawacha is actually even ranked number 8. That guy is in his 40s now. That was a guy that had that great war with Japanese fighter. Remember that one cut I posted up?
what was his name? My brain's lost because I just see Adam in his sunroom and it's just shocked my brain. I don't know.
I put it on Heatwave.
I'm going to say, he looks like
the Predator. Looks like the Predator's acting, doesn't it?
It looks like it's fucking infrared or some shit there.
I put it on Heatwave. There's all sorts of settings.
That's it. It was Yukihiro Tatsushi. That was the one. Bantamweight title fight.
I was never been able to say his name.
That wasn't that awesome fight. As I said, we mentioned this fight before. Get it watched. But Singawacha, number 8, WBO, as I say, he must be what now? He is he's 38 years old and he hasn't lost a fight since 2003.
But there's another something else I want to say as well. I saw Adam tweeting earlier. He was defending the Berto fight.
Whoa!
Adam, come on.
Whoa!
Answer for this. Live on air, answer for this nonsense.
Right, so a kid at work was discussing it. Forget Khan, because I would prefer Khan to be dragged along and publicly humiliated. I'm really enjoying that. Away from Khan, the pool of opponents ain't that, you know, they're quite similar to the casual. So the kid at work said, I was shitting on Berto. And he said to me, well, who else is there to fight? And I paused for a second and I thought, that's a decent question. I mean, obviously we can roll off Thurman and Garcia and Porter. They're all valid and good answers and that I agree with. But the pool talent, the pool available the Bertos, the Furmans, the Garcias, you know, they're all pretty similar, really, to the casual fan. So all I said earlier when I tweeted before you got your big shit stirrer spoon out, which you've got in the locker, I said I hate it a little bit less. I still hate it a lot, and I won't be getting up to watch it. But I hate it a little bit less because there's not that many options left really for him.
Here, Steve, I just see a tweet we've got actually sent to us here from Irish Boxing Fan. He's actually asking, do you think Spike O'Sullivan might get the call to fight Andy Lee?
Yeah, I saw a few people have been tweeting Spike's name forward. I can't see it happening at short notice. I don't know. It'd be a good one though. Spike would definitely jump in and take it. He's already fought Saunders. Obviously Saunders beat him. It'd be a good fight with Lee. Maybe a fight that they could do in Dublin, and generate a bit more interest. But you know,
Hello, Steve.
I could jump in with on the way, but I'd love to see that one.
I think that'd be a good fight to make. To be honest, even at short notice. I mean, there's interest going to be there as well.
And worse.
You're cutting it there, Steve.
Sorry, my computer seemed to be resetting itself. I was just going to say they could definitely find worse opponents than Spike, and considering he'd definitely take it, and it's not considerable short notice, there's still about 5 weeks to go, then I would definitely be up for that fight.
Well, the problem is I don't think he's ranked with the WBO, is he?
No, exactly. That's the thing. He's not anywhere near the top 15.
Yeah.
So that would make it difficult it would make it a non-starter from a title point of view. And then would it be too risky to stick him in a non-title fight of that magnitude? I wouldn't see Lee and Booth taking that for understandable reasons. So he's a bit of a non-starter.
It would be interesting though, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be a kind of throwback to the old days. You know, you've got the mandatory challenger out injured. So you take a fight with someone, you know, over a weight fight, you know, catch weight if you want to be. I mean, it happened in the past. Say Spike wins the fight, and he's then guaranteed a mandatory shot at the winner of against Lee against Saunders, because obviously in the past, a champion like Armstrong, for instance, Henry Armstrong would maybe fight someone, get beat, and then they'd be basically requested to defend his title at 135 or whatever it was, and against the guy who beat him. I think that'd be a good thing to happen.
I think it's just the way boxing's going, Andy. The risk factor, everything is so on the line. You know, there's so much to lose at the moment. I mean, it seems inconceivable now that only 12 years ago, Lennox Lewis was there without an opponent, and Vitaly Klitschko stood up to the plate at very short notice for a huge fight. It just seems like we don't see that type of thing now. These massive fights being made at such short notice. It'd be so refreshing to see that, but there's so much at stake now that it's difficult to see that happening.
Just looking through these WBC rankings, I don't see Spike in the top 40, so he must be with IBF, I think.
Lads, as we're a little short on things to talk about, Kell Brook still hasn't got an opponent. We was promised a Kell Brook announcement on July the 17th, and I attended the Manchester Arena eagerly anticipating a big name that we've been promised. Ever since Kell Brook really recovered from his stabbing, we've had the likes of Marquez, Rios, Bradley, Thurman, and even Mr. Mayweather himself has been mentioned at times. We have been left with we've been left with Frankie Gavin. You know, say what you want about that, but what I'm saying is the expectations for Kell Brook's big October opponent were set very high. Marquez, for example. Then they came a little bit lower to Rios. Now we're at Chavez, whose record, I keep getting mixed up with Berto's, but I think he's won one of his last 4, if I'm correct. So the question is, if Kell Brook fights 4 times a year, is that a valid excuse for fighting bang average opponents? And question 2, if Kell Brook fights at the top of an Eddie Hearn stacked card, is that a valid excuse for having a poor quality opponent?
I just got one question quickly. How sinister does Adam look when it goes to big screen with that background?
I look like a motherfucker. Answer the question.
Right, well, I'll answer it as best as I can, right? Bradley, too much money, I personally think, to bring over, right? Rios, there was a dispute, I think, going on about the rematch clause. I don't know what it was. There was also talk about the same money for a rematch or whatever. They're now talking about Chavez in October and possibly even a mandatory defence against, who was it? Was it Dan? Who was the other fighter?
Oh,
December.
DiCaro, was it? Or
No, was it
Bizio? No?
Busy, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously, I mean, if it is Chavez, they're obviously fucking certain they're going to get out of that fight unscathed to be fighting the, what, 6-8 weeks later. I mean, Chavez is a bit of a dirty fighter. I mean, I wouldn't fucking bang against Brook not picking up a cut in that fight.
That's never good though, is it? When a guy announces another fight before he's even had this fight, it doesn't really say much about the opponent that you're trying to sell, is it? I mean, they're saying, "Oh, we've already basically going to fight again in December." Well, how do you know you're not going to? If this guy's supposed to be a tough fight, or you're going to use I mean, we know Eddie's going to use the whole drawing with Timothy Bradley angle to sell this fight. They're going to say, how tough he is, and it's going to be a hard fight with Brook. But then you're telling us Brook's going to be out again in December defending his world title. So, kind of, I mean, I don't think there's any need to announce that yet. You could just wait until he beats Chavez and then do it.
Adam?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that they've got no option now because the big names are eluding and that they're going for the busy route instead, the busy world champion, hoping to force something, hoping something's going to come up?
Yeah, but I don't think that's acceptable. It is kind of acceptable, but when the expectations have been set at such a level that Eddie Hearn has set them, at the Rioses and the Marquezes and the Corns, Pacquiao's, when they've been set that high, to deliver the likes of Bizier, another mandatory, and Chavez, it's not good enough. Now, if they'd have started, if the dialogue had been more realistic, and Al Heyman's created a bit of a false market over there. It's going to cost a lot of money. Khan maybe needs a couple of fights. 2016 will be his year. If we'd have had that on the top of stacked cards, with AJ the Saviour on there, fair dues would have probably accepted that. But because the expectations and the dialogue used is so high, it's poor delivery.
Just going to ask, what about the likes of Saddam Ali? I mean, he's ranked quite high in that division, or that ranking in body, sorry.
Dangerous, isn't he? And I think HBO have designs on him. Who was I reading they were going to line him up for? I can't even remember.
It says here, you have Tim Bradley, Brandon Rios, Saddam Ali thing going on now. Apparently, with that fight falling apart, Ali might get the fight next or whatever, but he's a decent enough opponent. He's a decent enough fighter, eh?
Eddie'll work it out. He'll drop a little shoulder roll, and what you basically said there, Adam, the whole spiel about it's a false economy, we can't get this fighter because of such and such, and 2016 is going to be the year. That hasn't been said yet, but before the year's out, you might hear that little speech. I'd say things will be okay. He'll work something out.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Steve. But like I keep saying, he could have said that and got away with it 6-8 months ago. He spent the first 6 months of the year talking, first 6-7 months of the year talking about the big names, and he has not delivered.
Wait, I've actually found the opponent for him. I've actually found the opponent that he needs to face. I mean, if he doesn't face this guy, Kilbrook is just simply ducking him.
Bradley Skeet.
No, prison canteen graduate Frederick Lawson, 24-0, 20 knockouts.
Won't go near him. Why would you?
He would absolutely shit his pants from him. We're talking about a guy here who's the West African Boxing Union welterweight champion and the former IBF Continental Africa welterweight champion. I mean, this guy's done it all.
How many times has he been in the canteen and come out a winner?
Every fight, mate. Every fight. He must have fought there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I mean, this guy's a legend. I mean,
I mean, fighting there and winning there once is one thing, but that many times, there's something going on there. I wouldn't go near him. That's
he's the new Samuel Kabady.
I mean, honestly, you see this guy ripped to shreds. I mean, dangerous opponent. Can't go anywhere near him. I mean, honestly, I'm actually looking through these IBF rankings just now. I mean, Konstantin Ponomarev, Rico Muller, who the fuck are these guys? I need to get with the program again and start doing some more watching so many of these fights and stuff. I mean, this Konstantin Ponomarev, who is he for? Russian 34-year-old, 28-0, 13 knockouts. Fought in America in his last couple of fights.
Yeah, a lot of them, the rankings are just this why I'm stop bothering with them because when I see people all the time, justifying a fight by saying, "Oh, this guy's ranked number 3, this guy's ranked number 4," and you think of what? The WBO or they're absolutely shocking, aren't they? A lot of them, and they're there because the promoters grease the palm of someone or brand envelope. It's that obviously if you're in with a high name, high promoter, it's always been the way you're going to get a better deal and. That's the one good thing about mandatories. We said on a podcast a few weeks ago. Sometimes you'll get that guy who comes through deserves a shot and he doesn't get one because he's not with a promoter and he's got a hard style. And one of them you'll get now and again. Someone like a Winky, right? But most of the time,
Josie Lushigan, remember him? He fucking waited for ages. I don't think he even got his shot, did he?
He got his shot at interim, didn't he, against Matisse?
That was it.
It was like an interim, yeah.
That was it. I mean, I think he sat on his number 1 contender shot for about 18 months and he still never got a shot. It was absolutely disgraceful.
And that's the problem. I mean, Ryan Rogers is the same. Remember, he waited for Canelo for so long. I mean, it's just...
Victor Postal as well, he's good.
Yeah.
One.
But to be honest with Postal, though, he did take step aside money to let Garcia fight Peterson.
That's it. They can do good deals. Like, I mean, with Billy Joe, I mean, apparently the rumoured figure was 300 grand he took to sidestep Quillen and let Quillen fight, and obviously he had the Lee fight lined up as well. So it was a perfect move for them to do it, to be honest. But obviously now with the injury, it doesn't look so good. But you can see why people do it when they're offered, good money.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think this has gone pretty well. I mean, for us, no computers has crashed and no one internet's gone down. I mean, Paul couldn't get on, but most of it went all right.
Yeah, it went no bad, mate.
I think the pod will be fine on Sunday using this.
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think we'll need to be using this shit on Sunday. I mean, it's disappointing that we can't do our live shows without some sort of technical problems. It just seems to be Mixer. It just seems to be shafting us right up the farter just now. And it's about time we moved on to better and better things. We should lead the way for podcasts.
Yeah, and we can do it. We'll do another one of these videos, like maybe in the next couple of days before the podcast, and people can take the YouTube channel down, and then obviously it gives them enough time to realise where the new pod's going to be, and we'll put something in the mix of the chat as well. And I think this should work fine.
Lads, I'm going to have so much fun now on a Sunday night. Now that my talents can be seen live,
exactly, and listeners can see Adam doing whatever he's going to be doing every week. I'm sure he's going to surprise you all with whatever.
No, it'll get boring after a couple of weeks because I either iron or I clean my kitchen while I'm on to you lot.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's massively exciting. Imagine how excited Christine and Aisha are going to be when they realise they can see my face as I speak. It's going to be amazing.
I can hear them. I can hear it just now. They're going to get so wet with a wide on for you, mate.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Don't ever give my address out, Andy, because I know you've got it. People, all the women, Boxing Asylum women listeners are going to be around my house if we're not careful.
Smash it, mate. Smash it.
Brian King will be round if he sees this.
Yeah, if
Steve's fucking.
Anyway, if anybody's listening live or listening back to this on the rerun on YouTube, then spread the word, because if you're used to listening to us on Mixler, then you're gonna have to get used to actually hearing us now on Google Hangouts. So tell everybody, spread the word and spread the link, and move across to Google Hangouts with us.
Yeah,
don't stay on Mixler.
Yeah, they'll be sitting there listening to silence and probably thinking, bloody hell, this is the best part I've heard in months.
Best connection they've ever had.
Yeah, but that's probably wraps up anyway. So yeah, just echo what Steve said. Hopefully listen to this and spread where it's going to be from now on. And the number 1 podcast, as we like to call ourselves, we've moved, but we're still here.
No surrender.
When I see a video of you doing it to my level, then maybe you can have a say. Well, Tony, we've produced a video, we've got the evidence, and now on a Sunday night, Tone, I can do the evidence live. I can train live whilst talking about boxing. You watch, I do.
Tony ducked it. We made the video, we put it out, we tagged him in. He just ducked it. He just didn't want to know.
I've had no reply from Eddie or Dave or Toner. It's shocking, to be honest.
No talent scouts, mate. That's a fucking shame. I mean, you got to work from the gutter up, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
Right,
Still
guys. Let's hit the rodeo.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for listening, and see you soon. Bye.
Peace.